Hey everyone, welcome back to the backyard. I know, it's another exciting day of cooking here. Again, it's like mid-80s here in Southern California, and I'm out here with a broiler and a smoker. It's gonna be a quick video today. We are going to invent something. Maybe it's already been invented, I don't know, but we're gonna try this again. We're going to do a cheeseburger cabbage wrap. Just follow my logic here, okay? First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut a cabbage into some steaks. So I'm doing about a 1/2 inch thick steak on it, slicing that in half. I'm gonna take it, broil it for a few minutes, get it some char and some color and a little bit of flavor on it. Just light salt on top. Absolutely nothing else if you're putting it under the broiler. These broilers run 900 to 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. Any seasoning you put on here, pepper, anything at all, any rub will burn. So just salt, throw it in, let it go a few minutes each side. Then we're gonna take it off. We're gonna go over to the Even Embers, which I've got heating up. We're gonna let it sit in there for about a 1/2 hour, get some smoke flavor on it. Then we're gonna add our mix of, in my case today, we're using some ground beef and ground turkey. After that is cooked, we'll come in with some smoked Gruyere on top, and then when we're all done, we'll slide it into a tortilla and flip it over. We'll call that a late lunch today. So, first thing, got to get the broiler up and running and then actually get the cabbage ready to go for its next step. Now, if you haven't seen how these broilers work, this one happens to be from a company called Bighorn. You can see the logo there. I did get this through a shop on TikTok about a year ago. It's been awesome so far. These broilers have a burner. That white patch at the top there is actually a membrane that the propane floats through. When you light it, you can't really see it burning in there, but let me tell you, it's plenty hot. These things can get up to about 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, so very, very high temperatures. The low temperatures around 900, so be very careful when you're working with these things. You need to respect this. This will burn you in an instant. It will burn your food really fast. So just be careful to pay attention to it. This is not a put it on, walk away. You can't even look away. You gotta just be on top of it with a broiler like this. We are going to go in now with our cabbage. So the cabbage that we cut earlier and put a little bit of salt on. We're just gonna go ahead and put that in there on the tray and start getting it actually browned off. I'm gonna raise this up just a little bit and we'll see, not too high, but it will not take us very long and we will start to see some action happening on our cabbage. And again, this is strictly for some caramelization. Just a little bit of browning, a little bit of bubbling, a little bit of flavor. This is not gonna cook the cabbage. We're gonna do that slowly in the Even Embers around 300 degrees. But this will get us some flavor and start that sweetness coming through in the cabbage. You obviously will not be able to smell this, but I can smell this. I can see some browning happening already on some of the edges. I'm gonna move this down to the lower level because this is cracking right along at a high temperature. And I'm gonna turn that temperature down a little bit. Turn it down as low as it'll go. Because as you can see, if I use a little pointer here, I'm sure you're still seeing this. So right over here and right in there, you can see where this is scorched a little bit. It is that fast for these things to go from nothing to burnt. So you really got to stay on top of it. All right, well, we did the first flip there. It's not particularly graceful, flipping the cabbage around, but there we go. So we'll let this go. I can already see some browning on a couple of the leaves in there. And let me just tuck those down so they don't burn. You know, you can just smell the roasted cabbage starting to permeate the area here. I'm gonna say 3 to 6 minutes in the recipe that I'll do for this. You may actually want to dial it back to a minute or so and then start flipping just to see how it all turns out if you're gonna use a broiler. You can skip this step if you like and just go straight onto the grill and add maybe an extra 10 minutes of time on the smoker for this. That should get you there without any of the grill and the char. Another option is literally on a high temperature grill surface. And that's pretty much it for the broiler, gang. 3 minutes or so, a minute and a half, 2 minutes on each side, and you can see it's dried up a little bit, taking out some of that moisture. We've got some more definition in there, and you can see some of the charring on the edges. And that is going to add just that little extra bit of flavor. So as the Even Embers Drum Smoker comes up to temperature, we're about 260, 265 right now, pushing on up to 300. But as that comes up to temperature, I'm not going to bother with extra thermometers or thermostats today. Normally I'd have one here, the Temp Pro, and it's a remote thing and I can watch it in the house. This is going to be a pretty short cook, so we're going to skip that. We're just going to go with the dome dial and let it guide our temperatures. So around 300, I know from cooking on this thing a bunch of times. If I'm at about 300, 325 on the gauge on the top of this drum smoker, I'm around 305 to 310 at the grill level, which is perfectly fine for me. So I'm running 2 out of 4 on my intake, and my exhaust is probably about a third of the way open. We're just gonna creep on up to, we'll move that up to a 3 on the intake and a third of the way open. We're gonna creep on up to 300 and get our cook on. So just to keep you updated, I took the cabbage in the house, gave it a shot of avocado oil, and then sprinkled a little bit of the Meat Church Gospel on it so that we can thoroughly enjoy some great flavor. Now we're pretty much at 300. We're right around 295, just shy of that. So I am gonna go ahead and throw the cabbage on because I'm not worried about the extra couple of minutes that'll stay on there. That's it. That's pretty exciting, right? Cabbage on smoker. There we go. Close that up, take away the joy. Just to give you an idea of, you know, how well this Even Embers performs. It's a pretty windy day here where I'm at in the backyard. I've got the intake open to 3. I've got the top open about maybe halfway. And this thing just trucked along and slowly come up to 300 and just stayed there the whole time for this cook. I don't need much more time on this. I'll have plenty of charcoal in there to do a cook. Now let's take a look and see what we have in here, okay? This is exciting, right? Because, oh, look. It's still cabbage. Okay, well, you know, I mean, we're getting there. I actually think that that's still, it's warm. It's still got some, really tasty. It's still got some bite to it. So I'm actually gonna let this go maybe another 15 minutes. All right, let's go take a look and see where we stand. Look at that. It's still rocking right at about 300 after I opened it, showed you guys everything a little while ago, let it come back and do its thing. This thing is a champ. So let's make sure we, you know, make something good here. All right, that's looking a little better now. After about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, we're starting to see it dry up a little bit. It's got some char on there from the broiler. It's got some of that Meat Church Gospel on there for flavoring, a bit of avocado oil. I'm going to pull this in the house. We're going to slather it up with our beef and turkey mixture and then back on the smoker again. So I'm just going to slide into some gloves because, you know, I know some of you people get freaked out when people handle foodstuffs without proper protection. So we will go ahead and do that, and then we will very carefully come over here and move our, yeah, we're not too bad. We're not so bad. Now, all the beef and turkey and seasonings and whatnot have all been mixed, and they've been chilling out in the refrigerator for, I don't know, the last couple hours. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull off just a little bit of this, and we are going to just kind of make ourselves a half a patty that's more or less flat, kind of shaped like one of these things. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lay that down on top. And you can do this however you want. I like my beef to be a bit on the thin side, but that's just me. Cook this and set this up however you like. I will be adding a bit more to this one. Obviously, you could weigh this all out. Go ahead and you know, figure out what that looks like for you. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and I'm trying to line up the edges with all of these things. Kind of see, you know, how we keep them together. Now you get an option here as well, and I'm going to do these two this way with just beef and turkey on one side. But these other two, I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it on both sides, and then we're going to see how this comes out and whether, you know, it's better one way or the other, right? If it's got more meat on it, is that better, or is it a situation where less meat is your friend, basically? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And look, I'm not worried about it. I don't think you should be worried about it either. With the meat hanging over the kind of profile of the cabbage, it's not an important thing. Of course, we're starting off here with 2 pounds of protein. So we've got a pound of 90-10 ground beef, and we've got a pound of 99-1 turkey. I'll be completely honest, just happened to be what was in the store when I walked in, and it was on sale, super cheap. So I thought, what the heck? Why not just go ahead and get that one? Now, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to flip this guy over. And come on. There we go. I'm going to flip that over. And we are going to go ahead and sandwich that one and this one with some more beef. So effectively, we're going to make a double burger, if you will, with the cabbage in the middle. Now I know, you know, a lot of you are just going to say, well, of course, the one with double the meat is going to be tastier. To which I'm going to say, well, maybe. We'll know once it's in the tortilla and it's got the cheese on it and it is done. That's when we will know which is the tastier. Go a little bit thinner on the last one. And there we go. And that's it, just like that. This is now going to go back on the smoker, probably for another 45 minutes or so, however long it takes this beef and turkey to get cooked to about 160. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to probably put a little sauce on it, and then I'm going to add some cheese on it. We'll put it back in again, get it right up there on 165 internal for the meat, and then we'll call this whole thing done. Just like that, we are back on the smoker. We'll let those guys sit again until we hit that internal temperature we're after. My guess, 35, 40 minutes, but we will see. Well, we're at the end of this cook, and let's take a look at what we have at this point. There we go. Cabbage is nicely rendered. The smoked Gouda is all nice and melted. Great color on the ground beef and turkey. I cannot wait to give this a try. This is hopefully going to be a very tasty experience. I'm liking the way this looks, I'm liking the way it smells, so let me get it assembled and we'll see if it tastes as good as it looks. Now let's just take a moment here to appreciate the layers of what we have going on here. The beef on the bottom, that charred cabbage in the middle, and then more of that ground beef and turkey on top with that cheese on it. This just looks fantastic. I am super excited to give this a try. This meal is actually very GLP-1 friendly, if that's a thing that matters to you. The tortillas are the keto GLP-1 friendly ones. This is very lean beef, extremely lean turkey, cabbage, smoke on here, a little bit of avocado oil, some seasonings and spices, and that's it. We're trying to do healthy and we're trying to do super tasty. This is our profile or cross section. Looking pretty good. Got a bit of a smoke ring in there. Everything is nice and cooked. The cabbage is soft and rendered. You can still see the cheese up at the top there. A little bit of sauce on the bottom. I cannot wait to dig in and give this a try. One thing that I have noticed as I have been kind of picking in the background, because you are not here with me, the cabbage is a little bit salty. The smoke flavor on it is amazing. It rendered very well in the overall cook. So I am super excited to give this a try and see what this tastes like. So come on along. I'm not gonna lie. The flavors are all there. It's delicious. I need to work on the texture. The burgers are just slightly overcooked for my taste. There is a texture on the patty itself that is nice. You have to bite through it. It's not a typical fall apart or crumbly type of ground beef and whatnot. The cabbage itself just, there's so little bite to it. It just is perfect for what I was going for. It's a great taste. It's a lot of smoke because it was on the smoker for several hours for me to complete this test, but it is delicious. And that, street corn sauce is fantastic. Yeah, so I do this. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks.